Good afternoon and welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. I'm Brian the Babyface Matroni. As always, the show is hosted by His Greatness, Lummy, and we're joined today and most of the time by the Filthy Ginger Rhett.
Thank you, Brian. What a great... Let me put the music right back on. Great job, Babyface. How's it going, Rhett, over there?
Good, man. How you doing?
Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show.
I can do a way better intro than that, but I was really put on the spot.
Well, you know what, then? We'll make that one good.
We'll do it. We'll keep doing it. You know what? We'll just do it every week until we get the one that we're like, that's it. That's the one.
The one that you're so comfortable in. We'll do it next week then.
Yeah.
I know for the sake of recording, you had to bring the music down to 0, but I was kind of taken back because we were jamming, talking about how good this intro music was.
You like this?
I like this one, yeah.
It's a little bit better than the first one for sports?
Yeah, the first one was kind of giving me a...
If I was a band, I would change my name to Royalty Free. So whenever somebody searched royalty free music, it would come up with my band stuff.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Brian, did you ever play in the band?
I was known to rock out on the recorder in elementary school pretty hard. Some hot cross buns in this bitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Brett, did you play in the band? I figured you might have. You look like
I did
band
a couple
guy.
years in marching band. Yeah, I played alto sax.
Oh.
I heard you did like the sax. Heard you played them like a pro.
I did okay.
And
That's
Lummy,
right.
did you beat up the band kids, Lummy?
No, I didn't like my high school band, which is why I quit being in the band in 8th grade. But no, I didn't beat them up, even though they were kind of cocky because they won some state championship and thought that was like the bee's knees of everything.
Yeah, so you get it. I went to one of those high schools where like the band kids thought they were the coolest fucking kids on campus, and it was so weird.
But they weren't because they were the band guys.
They were the fucking band geeks.
813-90-BUBBA, 813-90-BUBBA, and we'll start off real quick with our first call. 316. That sounds about right.
Riveting.
Yep. Better than most, though.
Yeah, that's true. It's better than a hidden star on Little Purple. Okay, well, whatever. So, Brian, how you been doing?
Doing well, living the dream.
Coming off. Now, what was your opinion of going out to Steinbrenner Field for the Tarpons game?
That was a great game. Definitely would go back and do that again. My daughter enjoyed the shopping and the brownies. It was very nice getting to meet everybody. Everybody in the Bubba Army is so gracious, and other than Drunk Kim, very aware of not intruding too much on people's time. And it was great to go around, walk around with my daughter. She loved it, and felt like a little celebrity there, and she had a good time.
Now, how long did you stay?
I left around 7:30. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't. Yeah, I had to get her to bed. Yeah. And so probably 7:30, 7:40. There was a little let up in the rain, and we made it out to the car, and then I got her home, and had to get her to sleep by 8:30, 8:45, or otherwise we miss our window, and it becomes a little bit rougher the next day.
No, I don't. Yeah, trust me, I kind of get it. I was battling with that a little bit, but...
What about you? How late did you stay?
We left around...
Shut that bitch down. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what time did they finally shut it down?
Like 8:30.
Yeah, because they only keep it open 2.5 hours. So
yeah, and then I was waiting to talk to Jeremy, the GM there, just to thank him and everything. But Walker was passed out by that point.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that big.
Well,
of a
it's not
deal.
easy sexually assaulting little girls. It wears you out.
Listen,
man, you got a little child predator on your hands.
I grounded Walker, and don't worry.
At least he has good taste in women. That's all I got.
See, there you go, Brian. The kid doesn't know any different.
He just knows he wants to get after it.
Yeah, he wants to get after it.
He's like, I see Daddy do this to Mommy all the time, and he just walks around the house and rips off her shirt.
That's right, and he saw a big time lawyer, and he's like, oh. Let's go.
Let's latch on to that kid.
Yeah, let's go. I heard he's got a nice house, so why not? Brett, what time did you get out of there?
Same time you did.
Okay.
Pretty much 8:30, 8:35. I walked out after it closed. But I will say that I'm kind of grateful that the event went the way that it did, because I feel like as far as the Bubba Army goes, I'm not at a level where people will see me and recognize who I am. So I had 0 interactions with Drunk Kim. Nobody really felt the need to come up and talk to me, which made it cooler when people chose to come up and talk to me. But I mean, it was really cool getting to see everybody who was out there, and the ability to kind of sneak around if needed was appreciated. But it was cool shaking hands and meeting everybody. Ringo Valentino was out there, Riz his, Mitch the young boy, Nick the gun guy,
Donkey Teeth.
Yeah, it was cool people.
Everybody was awesome.
Now, we're not going to really talk about baseball at this point. I do want to start off with NFL or NCAA. I figured we could kind of start off with the NCAA.
I wanted to start off with PGA Tour really responding to the pressure they're feeling from LIV. First of all, I don't know if we touched upon it last week, but Tiger calling the players' meeting to get everybody bought into the PGA.
Oh, and upping their purses?
Well, they've increased the purses, and they're requiring their stars to commit to 20 events a season now. Which is part of the problem for the PGA is that you've got, these lesser events that they do every week. You maybe have 4 of the top 20 guys in the world playing in these. And, Will Zalatoris just really doesn't move the needle when you're looking to try and grow your sport. He's a great story, but he's not a star on the tour.
Well, I even know at the Outback or what's the one here locally?
They changed the name.
You're talking about the Valspar?
Valspar.
Okay.
There's I sometimes been invited and I just don't see the names out there, so I don't even bother going.
Well, the one year I went was the year Tiger was there, and
was that the only year too?
Amazing. He's done it twice. He did it once very early on in his career, I think, and then he did it. And then he did it a couple of years ago. What was it, 2018 or whatever it was? And it was pretty awesome. I sat at waiting at the 10th tee for him to tee off, and it was cool just seeing Tiger. We had front row on the 10th tee on the elevated box, and literally sat for 2 hours so I could watch him tee off.
And then what'd you do?
Then we just kind of walked around and then left because it's not being at a golf tournament is not fun.
Well, that's I've heard that.
I mean, I would go to Augusta or maybe the final round of a major, but it's really you're there and
you're standing around, right?
The only way to go to a golf tournament would be with hospitality tent tickets where you can sit inside, occasionally go out and see a golfer that you like, watch a fun hole like a short par 3 where people are throwing darts in and look for aces there. But no, golf is not a fun sport to watch live.
If you're standing outside, they shut you up half the time, don't they? Or is that just a trope?
It's
anytime he shoots.
Yeah, the signs are up, and if you can't make any noise, yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. I don't want to stand in one spot. Then I see the one guy I know, and then he's done, and I'm kind of like, okay, that's it. That's all I got. Because you can't really follow him because everyone else is probably waiting for him. Correct? So you can't go from the 15th and go hop on to the 17th, or can you? Say you wanted to follow Tiger and be like, I want to go 1
Yeah,
to 4.
you can walk around, but the problem with walking around is that with Tiger is you're not going to see shit.
That's what I mean. I can't go 1 if I got a great spot at 1. And then I'm like, all right, he's gone.
No, you can't. You got to skip holes. So you can have a great spot at 1, see him tee off, and then while he's finishing 1, go to 3 or 4 to get a good spot there. Oh. Yeah, Tiger's different though. That's most golfers you can follow, depending upon the day in the tournament. But even on a Thursday, Rory's, Thursday. First of all, the courses aren't full, and a group like the featured group of the day on a mid-level tournament like the Valspar is going to have you'll have maybe at the time you'd have a Dustin Johnson, Fowler and one other guy, and they're not the guys that move the needle completely. Oh, nobody moves the needle like Tiger. Phil to a lesser extent, but obviously that's gone now.
Yeah, well, so they're having a league minimum salary, $500,000 if each player. So is that for everybody?
I think it's for the guys that probably get their tour cards.
Okay,
they should have done this a long time ago. They're finally treating these guys right.
Oh yeah, rookies and returning members will receive the money at the start of the season.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. These golfers will be so much better now. They're not worrying about making ends meet. I mean, you're going to have a lot of more opportunity for younger golfers who are on the cusp to be able to actually try and make it now.
Now, is this enough, you think?
Yeah, $500,000, yeah.
No, but I'm saying with LIV.
Oh, I think it will I think it will stop the hemorrhaging. I don't think they will lose
as many quick.
I don't think they're going to lose many more. I think the ones that have gone have gone. Now it's a matter of, do you lose out on the up-and-coming golfers? But that's why they have the $500,000 guarantee to try and keep them around.
Liv has nothing like that?
Well, Liv, every golfer who's on Liv and who plays in the tournament makes a certain amount of money for the tournament. I think it's like $175,000 or something like that just for showing up.
Oh, so then the $500,000 is pretty good.
But that's each tournament, I think, on Liv. So, but you have the chance to win more if you can win, and perform well as a golfer. But yeah, I think the Live purses. I want to say the minimum was like $175.
I mean, that's still not bad, especially with if you do get that lucky round of golf, you get in the top 5 with what they're paying. But I mean, I guess it's good for the PGA. It's always good to have competition.
Yeah, well, competition. The PGA would not have done any of this without competition.
Oh yeah, they would have stuck it like they've been doing it forever. The PGA is that old school league that no one ever thought would challenge them. Which, I mean, that's kind of what the NFL is doing right now. But I don't see the NFL being challenged. Do you? Ever?
No.
Like even like what if the Saudis wanted to start an NFL team or an NFL league? I'm saying
it would be interesting, but I don't think you would get to the point of like national support. No, worldwide support that the NFL
You're
has.
talking a much different scenario when all you have to do is put on an event, and like they don't have to do the prep and all that. A team sport is so much more involved. With golf, even though they have a team sport element that they're trying with this, teams and drafts and whatever on Live, it's a whole lot easier to just go and set up a golf tournament than it is to run a football league and create a league from scratch.
Especially if you're playing, just for example, like a 16-game schedule, then you have to go out and you have to find a coaching staff for all these different positions. And then you have to find a front office. And then you have to, figure out who your executives are going to be. It seems like a hell of a lot more man work goes into putting together just a football team for the course of the season than it does a bunch of individual golf events.
But, Rhett, the XFL has done it. The USFL has done it.
I'm not saying the Saudis can't do it, but if we're talking about something that is big enough to be on par or better than the NFL, it's just not gonna happen.
Now, what if they start doing like the USFL did in the 80s, like pay the top players, the top draft picks, like insane money?
I cannot see a scenario where guys coming out of college or even guys established in the NFL are going to look at a startup league with a bunch of flashy money and think that in the long run that's going to be a better opportunity for their career than the NFL. I think if they are going after top talent, it's someone who's floating around that area of like, yeah, could obviously be a starter in the NFL. It's going to be the guys who haven't played for a few years, don't have a lot of teams reaching out to them, or just those fucking really good college guys that don't get drafted.
No, see, you're young because you're thinking small term. Now, if you're coming in with that kind of money and you go to these different maybe cities that have lost a team or get different owners to invest in it, you could do it where you're paying like how they paid Herschel Walker. I mean, it helped the NFL. Like Steve Young, Jim Kelly.
You need to have that level of financial commitment and backing, which the Saudis could deliver. If I was the Saudis and I really want to take on a sport in America, I would absolutely take on NASCAR. And I would assemble teams. Every team has equal funding. The league runs the team, right? So the Saudis run the team. Every team has equal funding, and the racers each week are going to be decided at local at dirt track events, and make it about like really truly the great racers and the great race car drivers. Like Tyler would have a chance to earn a spot each week into the Saudi racing league.
True.
And that would be cool, I think. But the problem, like Rhett says, with the NFL is just too much infrastructure. You have to have coaching. You have to have way too much talent. I mean, think about it. Each team, 50-plus players per team. If you're going to do any sort of league, you have to have 8 teams to start. That's 400 guys you got to find. Live, they're rolling out 48, 57, maybe 72 at the most. It's a lot easier to get that amount of talent accumulated than it is on the football side. And we've seen football with bad talent is not fun to watch.
No, but I'm saying if you get the good talent, that's what I'm saying.
But you're never drawing it away. You're not going to draw it away. No.
If they went in, let's say to what's his name? Let's just say Patrick Mahomes.
No, what they would have to do,
$500 million contracts.
No, their smarter bet would be to be in it for a little bit longer and just start getting all the kids out of high school. Get that top talent, then develop them, sign them and develop them, and then have them sign long-term deals right out of high school.
So you're talking about almost like baseball with the minor leagues.
Yeah, but you're robbing college football of most of their talent, and that's where the NFL goes to get their talent, and you're locking these kids into longer deals. So you're going to get them signed as soon as they turn 18. You're going to get them signed, for a 6-year deal or whatever it is, where you've got them so you can spend a couple years developing them, and then the rest of the time you've got them locked in as one of your stars.
Yeah, then you compete against college too.
As far as like practicality goes for starting something like that, I feel like in the long run they can skip a lot of the hassle of finding all of that talent and just be a major fundee for the XFL, for the USFL, if it's still around here in a couple of years. Like if they were to really want to get into it, I feel like the best base for them to do that is just attach yourself to something that's already been established and then continue to try and build on it.
But not to attach yourself to something that's been established and proven not to work. Like, that's the thing, is you don't want the taint of, okay, the XFL has now had 2 failures, right?
And coming back for 3.
You're coming back for a third. Why would you, if you're trying to build a brand, why would you attach it to something that's already failed twice? I want to if I'm in the Saudis and I'm going to invest $5 billion into building a football league, I'm going to do it with a fresh start, a fresh idea. I'm going to poach these young kids. I'm going to get them when they're young. I'm going to get these kids right out of college and guarantee them. I mean, that's right out of high school and guarantee them. Make them millionaires out of high school. You don't have to. Now, some are still going to go the college route, but you're going to get a lot of talent, and you're locking them into 6-8-year deals, whatever you want it to be. And you get them, for the time that they develop, and then you turn them into stars. So you have a developmental league, and then your actual league.
Yeah, and they can always bring them up anytime. So if you got like a guy like a Ken Griffey that was in the minors for a year, and then he's good enough to bring up at age 20, let's say age 20, but you played 19 or you played 18, going into 19, and they're like, all right, yeah, bring them up. Then you now you're building, like you're kind of saying, that homegrown talent, where maybe like the smaller, like where you put that developmental league in like a smaller town, and then they, just like the baseball, then they follow them and different things like that, and you build those teams up.
The idea of getting those kids out of college kind of reminds me of like you remember Marcus Dupree in the USFL?
Yeah,
how he kind of just chose a little bit more money, knew he was going to have a more prominent role up front. They made him a lot of lavish promises, and it ultimately didn't work out. But like, I feel like, I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but I also feel like that could be a sure track to maybe some shorter careers that fizzle out. I don't know. It's hard to talk.
They're going to lose a lot of money. This is a speculative proposition. They're going to lose a lot of money on kids that never turn into shit. But that's okay, because the idea is you are throwing out a huge net and trying to grab as much of the talent as you can. And so, you're never going to pay $1 million for a 2-star. But imagine if all the high 3- and 4-star kids were taking $10 million a year, $10 million contracts, $1.5 million a year for 8 years guaranteed, and then performance-based money and built into it to go to this offshoot league. Who would go to college if at the age of 18 you were guaranteed over the next 8 years to make $10 million?
Exactly.
Well,
who would go to college?
Well, I mean, technically because of the NIL or whatever it is, the
name,
NIL.
image, and likeness.
Yeah.
The one where guys get a taste of money, but for the most part, unless you're again one of the top 5 guys, you're not going to be making $1 million.
They need to regulate that though. They have to regulate it.
It's gonna
get way worse before it gets better.
Yeah, it's gonna get out of control first.
Because you're looking at, like, let's say, and I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, but like a Notre Dame, I don't feel like they have or they are willing to spend the money for their players.
What do you mean spend the money for their players?
Like how Ohio State, Miami, they have all those, like.
Well, they're not spending the school themselves is not spending the money.
No, but I'm saying even the old school
their fans
boosters.
the boosters are, but that's the whole collective movement where these fans are forming these companies called collectives, and they're selling off access and memberships and different membership levels based upon a monthly commitment to the collective. And then from that pool of money that the collective generates, they then distribute that to the players that are a part of it.
Sounds like such a cult.
Yeah, listen, USF just started one, so
every college pretty much has one now. If you want to compete, you have to have a collective.
USF got that new stadium coming up, right?
Well, they'll have it announced here, and that is definitely moving forwed by the end of the year.
You're gonna have to put together something like that if you've got all.
Well, they did. Matt Grothe started. I mean, Matt Grothe and Ketchel they're heads of it.
Yeah,
they joined the Fowler Avenue.
It's a terrible name. It's the worst. Like UCF's is called Mission Control, which is kind of cool because they, their
Space.
Original mascot was based around space, and then they went to the Golden Knights, which made no sense, but whatever. But yeah, USF, the best they could do was Fowler Avenue Collective. Give me a break.
The school's off Fowler Avenue, Brian.
What the fuck is so special about Fowler?
Nothing.
Though? I mean, you're a block away from Fletcher.
You're down the street from Suitcase City.
University Mall, plenty of Tampa landmarks over there.
Yeah, Brian, I totally agree with
the
you.
Bull Mafia Collective. I mean, you have Bills Mafia. Now you could have the Bulls Mafia. Just play off of that. Anyways, anybody sitting around in a room for 10 minutes with a beer could have come up with a better name than Fowler Avenue Collective. It's the stupidest shit I've heard. It's destined to fail because the name is so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's like, "Hey, we're doing a Fowler Avenue, whatever," I'd be like, "Okay, great. I'm not donating to it." It doesn't even sound
Fowler
cool.
Avenue. Why am I fixing potholes?
Yeah. Where's my money going to? Is it going put some sidewalks in on Fowler?
Yeah. Better street lights.
And the stadium's not even really. I mean, like even something around the stadium at least. So the stadium's not even going to be on Fowler. It's in the back corner. Technically, going to be along Fletcher.
So it's like on campus, but it's not really on campus kind of thing.
What, the street?
Well, if I'm thinking back there by Fletcher.
Oh yeah, no, that's on campus.
What's the proposed site for it? Do you know?
Yeah, right back.
Oh, it's right behind the new indoor practice facility. It's a little bit north of it. So it's right in between Fletcher and Fowler.
There's like a little outdoor, cross country outside.
They got like a rock wall over there. Is that where I'm thinking of?
No, it's right next to their quote unquote fraternity.
Fraternity
buildings.
row.
Yeah, their block buildings.
They're going to have nearly 7,000 students living on campus this year. So
are they?
Yeah,
That's pretty good. Finally, they got some people living on campus. Hopefully, their type of crowd actually shows up to games. But since we're on college football, what'd you think of the Saban raise?
I mean, it's well deserved. Money well spent.
It's hard to be mad about it. Like I think Saban saw what they were doing with who's the other coach that just got paid?
Kirby Smart.
Yes. He saw what Georgia was doing with Kirby Smart.
Oh, he's always his ego is massive. He's always got to be the highest paid coach.
Yeah.
You think if Nick Saban ever got offered like a TV job or something like that for let's say $20 million, he would jump? Or do you think Alabama could afford paying Nick Saban whatever?
They can afford it.
Oh, they're boosters and everything. Yeah, they're fine. They ain't starving.
I mean, when you've got a coach like Saban, who, when it's all said and done, 30 years from now is going to be the greatest coach in
college football. He's already there. I don't even think Bear Bryant's out the window. It's Nick Saban.
The guy's clearly going to win 2, 3, 4 more championships while he's still coaching. I think he's going to coach until he's done. And then once he's done, he'll probably just disappear. Like maybe the occasional Aflac commercial.
No,
I don't know,
I see him being TV.
I don't know.
Like Lou, what the?
Lane Kiffin?
No, Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz.
Oh.
Nixon.
No, I mean, he's got.
I'm Nick Saban here.
He's signed through 78 years old right now with Alabama.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know that he's going into the broadcast booth at 80 years old.
How old was Lou Holtz though? He was like 91.
Lou Holtz went in before that though. Like he went right out of coaching into the broadcast booth. So he may have been old, but I don't think he was 78.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched College Game Day in a long time.
Well, Lou Holtz, I haven't been on college football in a long time.
Do they still roll out the corpse of Lee Corso every week?
He does.
Yeah, he stroked out and
God damn, dude.
Oh, come on. I mean,
it's hard to hate the coach.
Exactly.
I mean, you cannot not like Lee Corso, but Jesus Christ, just give it a break.
I've been practicing my Lou Holtz thing. He's 85, by the way.
Pretty good, Lou Holtz. Now, I will say this: he stopped coaching in 2004. So at that point in time, he was 67 years old. Okay. Getting to TV at 67 is one thing. Getting into TV at 78 years old is a whole nother ballgame, my friend. So, Yeah, I don't see it happening for Nick Saban. Like Lou Holtz, he seemed older than he was. I will say that. Like
You think?
a 67-year, like Saban is that old now, and he looks younger than Lou Holtz ever has in his life.
Lou Holtz looked that age when he was at
Lou Holtz
Notre
was
Dame.
24 and looked like he was 67.
Exactly. I've never seen a young picture of Lou Holtz.
There is none. He was like Benjamin Button, but he was born,
He's been
but he
old the whole
never
time.
he never moved.
You mean it stopped?
Yeah, it just stopped it. He found the cure right away. He was born an old man, and then they found the cure.
813.
Hey guys, enjoy the conversation, man.
How's it going?
Hey,
Who's this?
Hey, good man. Hey, I agree. It's Scott. I agree with Brian about trying to compete with the NFL. Like if you were trying to pull high school players, if you had like the NHL is set up where you have like two-way contracts and stuff like that. You know, like you said, what high school player would ever pass up the opportunity to, make that kind of money? Because when you listen to most of those guys talk, they're just trying to get out of the situation they're in. That's their only avenue to better themselves is to go to college and get that NFL contract.
Yeah, and I'm not saying the top, the 5-star surefire, the quarterback who's deciding between Ohio State and Texas and is going to be making $2 million a year anyways. I'm talking about those 4-star, those high 3, 4-star kids that, 50% of them pan out, but the other half it doesn't work out so good for. If you've got a massive pool of money to sign those kids up, and you got to be selective, you got to take your chances, but man, you could get 200-300 of those kids signed to contracts each year, and it costs you $200 million a year. But if you're developing them right, you're going to make way more money on that investment in the long run.
Yeah, like you say, it's more about robbing the talent from the college ever making it to the NFL. I mean, that's where you're going to start. But it's like that type of out of box mentality that it's going to take something like that. With a little bit of money behind it, if you're ever going to compete against the NFL. I mean, they've got a monopoly on everything. I don't really understand the antitrust laws, but you can't compete with that.
No, you can't. I mean, but they always probably will point back to, which, I mean, it may not even be a point now, but Maurice Claret. Remember how he was at Ohio State one good year, and then he had that lawsuit trying to get in the NFL, and they let him in the NFL, and he just kind of shit himself out.
Yeah, but he was also kind of like blacklisted, and guys like that, they want to see fail.
Well, didn't he try to run over a kid during a pickup game, or is that
I don't know, something like that?
Or was that the other guy?
But that just shows you the grasp, the reach that the NFL, that the college, they've all got a monopoly on it. I mean, you just can't start a new league and really compete unless you think out of the box, and you were trying to get like that 18-year-old talent to develop them. And like I said, if you did something like the NHL and you had two-way contracts, things like that, so you could have a minor and a major, and
Well, just imagine if that kid who's maybe not, he struggles in school, he's got to work harder than he has to on the books, doesn't have to worry about that 6 hours a day that he's spending on academics, and can focus 100% on his craft, which is football. I mean, those kids. We see a lot of these kids. Look at Clyde Pinder Jr. He's a local stud player out of Armwood, I think he was. Signs with UNC. Apparently struggles a little bit there academically. Transfers back to USF. He didn't qualify academically this summer. His life is over because he wasn't smart enough to go through the minors of the NFL, which is the NCAA.
There is a kid that I went to high school with. Same exact thing happened to him. His name was Shavar Manuel. He was a 4-star defensive end. Actually, he was a 5-star D end at our school, and then he transferred over to IMG for his senior year. They converted him to D tackle. He gained about 30 pounds, went to a 4-star, and on signing day, he was one of the bigger stories because he had verbally committed to Florida and then decommitted and verbally committed to Florida State the same day. Well, 2 weeks later, come to find out his grades are not up to snuff. He's stuck at a JUCO, and the last I heard of him was like a year ago when the Tampa Bay Times put his picture in for a human trafficking bust. So
yeah, he's
not doing very well.
He got arrested.
And he was incredibly talented, fucking freak of nature. He was just stupid as shit.
Bubba, I got 214. Sorry.
What's the rule with, like, a college athlete can only spend so much time a day, correct, with the coaching staff and things like that? I don't know if they abide really by them laws.
No, they don't.
They find ways around it.
You have graduate assistants that aren't technically coaches, but then you also have the assistant to the graduate coach that.
Yeah, but like an independent league, where they're basically employees of yours, you could set, they could get more time, more focused on their craft. A better weight, I don't know, get them in the gym more.
No, I mean, if you look at how all the facilities, Dr. Dan's Movement, Onion Maker, 100 Bits, if you see what the facilities like Florida, Alabama, Georgia, all those facilities, they're making them with pools on their basketball because they want the players to stay at the facilities. They don't want them going home playing video. They want them there. And when they're there, they think they're going to learn more.
Well, it's not just learn more. They're not going to get in trouble.
Well, they're not going to get in trouble, but they're also
facility.
Yeah, but they want them there, to get the team, hanging out with the team, but yeah.
All right, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you taking my call, man. I'll keep listening.
Thanks, man. But that they can finagle it where the different coaches or even the assistants, the graduate assistants, are kind of hanging out there too and teaching them more stuff. It keeps them on campus longer.
Yeah, no. Have you seen the new facilities at Duquesne?
Oh yeah. I actually picked a school out there since we talked about it. The Presbyterian Blue Hoses.
Yeah, Presbyterian College.
Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of Presbyterian.
The Blue Hoses?
Yep.
I was going to do North Alabama, but I'm pretty familiar with them, so it wasn't kind of like a...
That's your random school of the week?
Yeah, the Presbyterian Blue Hoses. Sorry.
Nice. Yeah, I'm familiar with Presbyterian College.
Because
it's not even a university; it's a college. Because it only has one school.
What is it? Bowden.
Bobby.
Tommy Bowden went to University of North Alabama. My buddy played over there, so I was like, "Yeah, that's too easy."
How about Youngstown State?
I've heard of them.
The Penguins.
There was a famous. Who was the famous quarterback that went there? Do you know?
Was it recent?
Youngstown State, or it was a famous football NFL player that went there.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Ron Jaworski?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, or Cliff Stout or Jim Tressel.
I think Jim Tressel was a coach there, was he not?
Yeah, I think he may have started, but he may have actually played there too.
Oh.
Ray Isaac, Ron Jaworski, Jeff Ryan, Mark Brungard, Trenton Likes, Tom Zetz, and Kurt Hess are their best quarterbacks of all time.
Well,
but Ron Jaworski, definitely the biggest name.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only one that I recognize.
See, I don't think the Presbyterian Blue Hose, and by the way, what the hell is a blue hose? Does anyone know what a blue hose is?
It's a hose.
Is that like a blue waffle or blue balls?
I'm trying to find their mascot here. And this, I mean, yeah, so Presbyterian in-state. And
Rock Ya-Sin, cornerback for the Las Vegas Raiders, is a former Blue Hose.
They're 33 and 33 against Clemson. First meeting 1916.
3 and 33.
Yeah,
not 33 and 33.
I was thinking in the back of my head, like, damn.
Well, they've been playing them since 1916. They've lost 15 straight. They've been playing them since 1916. They play in front of 6,500 rowdy Hose fans in the Pioneer Football League.
They are 0-1 in bowl history.
What
bowl? I don't know if it'll tell you on there, but I wonder what bowl they played in.
They're notable former players. Justin Bethel. Rock Ya-Sin.
Oh.
And Bob Waters is the quarterback from 1968. Do anyone know who he is? Oh, the bowl game, the Tangerine Bowl.
Oh, no shit.
Do you know another team that is no longer in existence? That's a trivia question for you guys. That played in the Tangerine Bowl. Around this area.
Around this area?
University of Tampa?
That's right.
Yeah, okay. That was, yeah.
Good job, Brian. Yeah. This is a big-time school. I kind of wish they would have maybe recruited me. They're in South Carolina, too.
I think you wish anybody would have recruited you, right?
Oh, there's the Blue Hoses began to transition to
I have a question,
football
Lummy.
In 2017.
When USF does their like their football alumni and all that, why don't you get invited?
Because I left the team.
That's the reason you think?
Well, yeah.
Why don't you get invited to FAU when they do their alumni?
I do get invited to FAU.
You just don't go.
I don't go.
You just
Why
big
not?
time them?
I don't know anyone down there. I'm not going to drive
There's
down to
Bubba
Boca.
Army everywhere, man.
I know. Daniel Rose invited me to a football game. I was going to go there, and then COVID hit.
COVID.
Yeah, he had a box. I mean, they just opened their new stadium. I was gonna go check out a game down there, but I'm not gonna go to the alumni thing.
I got a compliment yesterday on my Lummy Investigate shirt out in public.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
I went to Subs and Such off of Bears and Livingston, I think is the intersection right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man, I was standing in line waiting for a sandwich.
And Brian, plus too, when you never played an actual game,
I'm teasing you.
No, but I'm saying
teasing
no, but
you.
that's like saying like I'm showing up in my a jersey that I got made there.
Your practice
First of all,
jersey.
your jersey should be very clean and pristine at this point.
Yes, it was. I put it on one time when I walked in, and they sized me. That was the only time I put it on. So thank you, Brian.
Hey, look, you got further than most did.
That is true. I bounced around to many colleges that wanted me at least. So
yeah.
Yes, Colin. Yes, I know your son now goes to FAU, but back then, and I still don't feel like driving down to Boca. And Howard Schnellenberger's no longer with us, so I mean,
who's coaching at FAU now? Do you know?
Willie Taggart,
man.
Okay.
Who's coaching there?
I mean, come on. How do you
Get
not
on
know
the
Willie
bus,
Taggart's
man.
down there?
Yeah, why don't you take the
know.
bus from Tampa to Boca and watch Willie? He drives it.
And
He drives that bus all around the country. Wherever there's a bag of money, you'll find Willie Taggart going to grab it. Yeah, Oregon,
415.
let's fucking go.
Yeah, Florida State,
Oh, right back to Florida. Let's fucking go.
Florida Atlantic.
My-
He's still getting paid from
And
Florida
you know what's
State.
amazing is each place he's been has been his dream job. Like, it was his dream to coach at
Yeah.
Western Kentucky. It was his dream to coach at USF. It was his bigger dream to coach at Oregon. And then, of course, Florida State. How could you turn down that dream job?
And then come back to FAU.
Dream job. It's always
Everything has been leading up to FAU.
everything. And then his next job will be his dream job. The guy's a used car salesman. Hell of a recruiter. Not much of a coach, but whatever.
So you're saying like if he goes to a Webb International or Stetson, that's going to be his dream job at the NAIA level? Is that what you're telling me, Brian? Like if he's so far, just no one wants him anymore in Division I, and he wants to stay in Florida, he'll go to like a school like that.
Oh, no. Well, how much is he still being paid by Florida State?
A lot of
Yeah.
fucking money.
Good
A
amount of
lot of
money.
money.
He's not going to go anywhere until that money is up because he's already guaranteed that money. Like, there's just no way.
Well, he's still doing pretty good at FAU. I mean, they had a pretty good season last year. He can recruit. He is like who has followed Willie Taggart at USF?
It wasn't Charlie Strong, was it?
It was Charlie Strong.
I thought there was another coach between
No,
the
you're
two.
thinking of my son, Lou Skipholtz. Skipholtz coached there before Willie Taggart. Yeah, Charlie Strong.
How about it?
Charlie Strong. He's a good recruiter too, Brian. I mean, you got to say, Charlie Strong or Willie Taggart brought in some good players
Man.
at USF.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No,
I
totally
do
did.
remember the slight feeling of excitement I had for the Charlie Strong era
When we went to
in USF because he was just
21.
leaving Texas, right?
Well, they got a good
Yeah.
deal on him. I mean, they
Yeah.
got him on discount,
he was good at recruiting. He was just leaving Texas. Texas has been fucking Texas.
Oh, I
for a
wanted
while.
Charlie Strong when they fired Jim Levitt. I was like,
Yeah.
Charlie Strong was still kind of out there, and I was hoping they would get him. He was still an assistant, I believe, at Florida still.
One of the most frustrating games. One of the most frustrating football games I've ever watched in my entire life was it 18 or 19 that Strong was there?
Let's see, it would be 2 years. It would
19,
18, 19. Yeah.
18 and 19.
Yeah.
He was
Okay.
there.
No, I'm pretty sure this was 19. They played Georgia Tech.
Oh, it was a bad game.
Holy fuck. I don't even remember if they won it. I thought they
No.
came back and won.
Was it at
No,
Georgia
no.
Tech?
The
No,
one
it was
they
at
won,
Raymond
They
James.
beat him here. They had
Yeah.
two
Yes,
kickoff
okay,
returns.
yeah.
Hold on. I'm your USF historian here.
Hold on,
Let's
I
go.
just said they lost to him at Georgia Tech.
Terrence Horn Jr. ran two kick returns back in that game before blowing out his ACL the very next week.
Yeah.
USF, I think, won like 35-30 or something like
Yeah,
that.
but they were. It was like 35-14, and Georgia Tech started to come back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Well, just the fact that
Then they got then they
Tech's
lost.
quarterback got injured, and they brought
Yeah.
in another one. Then the one at it in Georgia the next year in 2019, that was the game where Blake Barnett started, and USF couldn't
Yeah.
really move the ball at all. And Charlie Strong played a chicken shit offensive philosophy,
Sure
and they
did.
lost a close one.
they had a
Indeed,
tight
McGillicuddy Hall
end.
of Famer, 1,000 bits.
They had a tight end back in 2019. I was a big fan of Mitchell Wilcox. I know he's in the NFL. He obviously hasn't done shit, but I don't know where he's at now.
There's really a lot of only USF guys in the NFL. I think Brian? We came up with one offensive player, pretty
Mike
much.
White.
Well, you've got
No, I don't count Mike White
you've
because he
got
technically left.
Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Yeah.
He's there. You got Marlon Mack. You got Dearness Johnson.
JPP's a free agent.
You got JPP. You've got
JPP's not in.
Dewan Cease, who's looking to not Cease. No, who's the?
Well, no, I said offensive players. I wasn't talking about the
three offensive players are Marlon Mack, Dearness Johnson, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah. See, I forgot about Mack because he was injured, and it looks like with Taggart, he is he negotiated or Florida State did 3.5 million. An FAU contract, they're only paying him $290,000.
Yes, so he's making 3.8 million. Well, 3.8 million. No, what they do is they offset that against what Florida State owes him.
Yeah. Okay. So 750,000 is what the Owls are playing. FAU is paying him 750,000.
Yeah.
And then looks like the same amount total FSU. So 14 million is going to be his total payout, but he's still getting it. He's getting 290,000 a month from his former.
Who do they play next? Can you read that on the side over there? No. Go down. Right there. Next game.
Who's that?
On the right. Next game on.
Yeah, Florida State's next game is
against who?
Duquesne. Duquesne. Thank you, Hall of Famer Iggy McGillicuddy. You know it. I couldn't remember. Duquesne. Whatever it is. Okay, whatever.
Dukes.
But no, Brian.
He called him Duquesne.
Yeah, Duquesne. Listen, it was a name I didn't recognize. I do remember them now. Right?
Duquesne.
The Duquesne, right? The Duquesne Dukes. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not up on the smaller level NCAA football teams. That's why, Brian, we are doing a pick a college. So now I know all about the Blue Hoses. They've been around since 1913 and have a losing record.
Historic
overall. Which is pretty well, technically playing Division I think Division 1 and up, they have a really bad record.
What's their overall record?
509, 514.
Yeah, overall record, technically, if you want to count everything, is 509, 481, and 35.
Well, we can get philosophical here, and that's what I want to do. So they have a winning record all time.
Yeah, when they joined the NAIA in 1957 to 69, and now they're...
But that was when the NAIA was actually a
decent?
real... Yeah, it did not become a total non-academic joke for a while.
There's a hyperlink above their logo on the right side of that page, 2022.
Oh, you want to see who they're playing? There's some pretty big schools they're playing.
Also want to see how they did last year.
Austin Peay has one of the coolest logos and mascots in all of college sports.
Last year, of course, it doesn't show the results of last year.
They're the Governors, but it's like
2-9.
2-9.
2-9. Oh, this year they're playing. They're playing Dr. Dan's alma mater,
San Diego.
Duke or Florida?
No, I just read the first fucking
Stetson.
name.
Okay.
Stetson with their badass college. They're playing in the last game of the year for most likely looks like maybe the conference championship. They're going to be on ESPN Plus. Yeah, look at their Pioneer Football League. Butler, Davidson, Dayton, Drake.
I kind of want to see what the uniforms look like.
They're blue and red.
Yeah, no shit, but there's a lot of blue and red uniforms in football.
They're a college, so I'm guessing they probably look like shit. I mean,
that's why I want to see them, Lummy.
They have they're very boring uniforms.
Yeah, right here.
They're very.
You can look
generic.
up at the screen. Oh, no, that's a blue hose right there.
Scotty the Scotsman.
It's a Scotsman. Scotty the Scotsman, the blue hose.
That's so.
They're proud, man. That's cool. Fierce. It actually looks a little like you, Lummy.
Yeah, it does.
If you shaved,
and I got muscles.
Shaved,
and I got muscles.
Yeah, well, they look about as ripped as him. But if you shaved,
Brian.
Well, he's a soft character.
Yeah, there's the 2 and 8 Presbyterian blue hoses.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
813.
Lummy, Babyface. How you guys doing this morning?
Come the fuck on, man. All right, White Iced Tea. Listen, I got zero issues, zero qualms with you, bro. But every time, just say what's up.
That needs to be
just
the joke
say what's
now.
up. Just acknowledge that I'm fucking here.
Babyface, what's up? That's all. What's every time?
Yeah, and what you need to do is the next time Rhett is not here, actually say hello to him.
I know. Fucking A.
Can I speak?
Yeah, come on, DaFilthy.
So, there's a quarterback who was just recruited at the University of Miami, Jaden Rashada, signed a $9.5 million NIL deal. Does that mean he's getting $9.5 million a year? or is that like however long he stays in college for?
That sounds a little bit.
Seems a little high.
Yeah, it's the highest paid NIL deal out there.
What was this? You said Jared?
Jaden Rashada.
Okay.
Oh, he signed it with one individual.
Oh.
And he turned down an offer of $11 million from Florida Gators Collective.
Wow.
I mean, well, maybe the Saudis can't get into this game after all. But no, these are the guys that you wouldn't go after if you're the Saudi league. Like, you build your league on 4-star kids, not the top 50 kids in the country.
You know, Shaquem Griffin from Gibbs High School, him and his twin brother.
Yeah.
Well, he just retired today after a 4-year NFL career with one hand.
Yeah,
and I want to say,
he's moving on.
Congratulations to that guy, and he's getting his pension. He got his 4 years in.
You really gotta hand it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, we got jokes now.
Nice job, Brett.
He's on. He said he's on to Plan A, which I don't know what that is, but
real estate.
Is it?
Good. I hope he makes a bunch of money.
He's gonna be a hand model. A barber. He's gonna be a barber.
Jeez, Brian.
Maybe he could double fist.
Yeah.
He could be a double fister.
There you go. He could be a wrist model with his watches.
Hey, anyways, you guys take care.
Thanks, man. Have a good one. A little beef with him, Rat. Jeez, DaFilthy.
No, there's no beef, but god damn it, just acknowledge that. Like,
dude, you are completely forgettable. Let's be
I know.
honest.
Hold on,
trust me.
Babyface.
That's why
I imagine at Thanksgiving dinner, your family is like, Rhett was here?
That's why I don't feel bad when I tell Lummy I can't make it.
Oh, hold on. No, actually, I was going to say, Babyface, you remember last week he called. He did actually say, what's up? He said, what's up? No, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
White Ice Tea called in. He was like, what's up, DaFilthy?
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. I was listening to the show. There's no way he did.
Brian.
He did.
Yeah. See, thanks, buddy. Brian doesn't lie. He's a lawyer.
Damn, now I feel really bad.
Yeah, you should. That's why he got a little beef with you, man.
Yeah, let me get off of my soapbox then. Sorry, White Ice Tea.
See, so this 9.5, you said it went from one person. So
yeah,
like you'd have to look at their contract to see if it's spread out.
It's horseshit, man. It's horseshit. This is essentially paying kids to come to your school, which, first of all, if you're rich, I mean, what a loser you must be to. I guess if you have a business and you're going to make money off the kid, it's mutually beneficial. But if you're just doing it because you're a rich alumni of a school, then that's just messed up. Like the FedEx guy. I mean, just imagine what Oregon can do with it with Nike and these deals on these kids. It's crazy.
Oh,
but at least Nike's a bigger company. They're not just going to do it because they have got enough, even though that's their slogan. They're not going to just do it because they've got these business dealings with all of these colleges that they try and get, signed to Jumpman and all of that.
Hold on here. 813, where I looked this up. 813?
Hey, this is Billy from Boston.
Hello, Billy from Boston.
You guys talk NFL yet? I just catching the rest of the show.
No, I think we're about to hit up the NFL.
You're calling in to talk about the Pats?
Well, yeah, I was just trying to, maybe fantasy lineups, sleepers, whatever you got, just some inside Iggy's maybe.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah. We'll be there in about 10 minutes. I got to show Brian this. Brian, have you seen that commercial of the AC, the Nebraska kid?
Oh, yeah. Like the coldest is his name or something like that? The
coldest Crawford.
The coldest.
Yeah, we'll be hitting up NFL here shortly.
I believe his middle name is of all time. I could be mistaken.
I'm about that lady on the couch, though.
But like this, as if you're talking about if this guy had a SOS heating and cooling.
Well, this is actually a funny, cutesy use of a college football player with an interesting name.
Well, how much do you think he got paid for that? Does anyone know?
Oh, I mean, probably $10,000.
That's it?
It's
from a local
SOS
business.
Heating and Air.
Like
what do you think they're fucking throwing at him?
Yeah, he was doing them a favor.
Maybe $3,000. Maybe. First of all, his delivery needs some work.
You think, Brian?
The coldest is a little stiff. But good on him, man. His name got him some money.
Fucking chuckle nuts on here today.
All right, we're gonna get into football, but we got 2 calls here. Our phone lines are blown up here. I don't know what number you are. 443. Oh, 443.
Hello,
443.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
443.
Gone.
All right, well, the coldest, I was trying to look up what it is, but we can get into football now for our our great listener in the 813. We're just getting blown up in 813. We must be the most listened to platform channel in 813 right now. Hold on, here's that call back again, Brian. 239.
Yeah, Lummy, it's We Pave, We Seal.
Oh, what's up, We Pave, We Seal? Florida State fan.
Guys?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Yeah. So I have a question. I've talked myself into a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Is there a chance that Mike Norvell got hired as a placeholder until Dion had some college experience?
No, there's a 0% chance of that. There's no placeholding going on. Dion may ultimately end up coaching Florida State, but that wasn't the deal. I think the deal was this. They just hired – so Tallahassee is not exactly a bastion of progressive ideologies.
Where's that supposed to mean, Brian?
Well, there was a lot going on with Willie Taggart. Yeah, and they were willing to buy him out very abruptly, very early on into his tenure there, and the pigmentation of his skin has been reportedly part of the reason why he wasn't given a fair shake at that likewise, Charlie.
Or the lack of discipline amongst the team.
That's right.
That could be it. Highly unlikely. Watch what Mike Norvell's done his first 2 seasons there. Is he getting fired, just like Taggart did?
Well, he kind of turned the nose up at the end of the year.
I'm just saying. There's a reason why Deion Sanders was not hired at Florida State.
Well, didn't Willie Taggart have a good first or 2 seasons? Didn't he?
No, he did okay with Oregon after they missed a bowl game and got him back to a bowl game. But
you're missing 2020. Florida State's 3-6, and then 2021 5-7.
Yeah, and well, he was 4-5 when they fired him. He got fired going 9-12. That's he got a total of 21 games.
Well, Mike Norvell is 8-13 right now.
Yeah. Oh, is he still hired? Does he still have a job?
But maybe We Pave, We Seal understand something. Maybe they're waiting for Dion to come over next year.
Yeah, that's it.
I think the reason they're hanging on to Norvell is because he was hired when COVID happened.
Yeah, that's true too.
He didn't get a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Willie got a fair shake. And Mike Norvell didn't.
Inheriting that team that Jimbo left completely bare.
Do you mean Jimbo Fisher, the great coach at Texas A&M?
Yeah, one of the only 2 head coaches of all time whose team started the season ranked in the top 10 and finished unranked. Yeah, that guy.
Oof.
One of 2 head coaches all time that pulled off that feat.
Poor Jimbo.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had.
All right.
Thanks,
well, it's an interesting theory. I think it had more to do again with having a failed African American coach, and they went with a very safe bet with Mike Norvell.
Oh, interesting. Thanks, We Pave. Oh well, I mean, I think most Florida State fans would like to have Dion, and I think if Florida State comes out pretty slow, would you make a safe bet that they would fire Mike Norvell mid-season?
If Dion wanted to come there?
If they're what, 3-5 again?
Yeah.
No.
They lose to another Division 1 AA team?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an embarrassing loss, because
last year.
Jacksonville State, right?
Jacksonville State, yeah. Division 1 AA, yeah.
Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. I don't know if, I know Florida State fans are obviously going to want him gone. I just don't know if you can let that happen again.
Really?
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
It's tough firing coaches in the middle of the year, but in this game now with the transfer portal and all of that, I think you're going to start seeing a whole lot more of it.
After Taggart, who was the interim coach that they had? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was
because I remember they played kind of well. It was down the stretch.
Was a defense coordinator? I think the Florida State guy was there for ever.
Yeah, I just cannot remember his name.
Well, that's why he's not a head coach anywhere else right now.
I mean, they were 4-5 when Taggart got shit canned. It's not like they were totally bottoming out.
They didn't see growth, and they had some discipline problems too. A lot of their high recruits were not playing on the field because they were getting in trouble.
Well, I mean,
and Florida State is known for a very highly academic college, as you would know, Brian, right?
I went to USF.
I know.
Yeah,
whatever. Let's get into the NFL. What do you think about the Derek Carr stuff? What do you guys think about that?
What
with
stuff?
the Raiders, with the Tom Brady? No, like
with
the
the
Tom
Raiders and the Tom.
I was explaining
got
it.
Bill Cosby as the fucking.
Yeah,
you
listen.
know the Derek Carr stuff with the Raiders and the Tom Brady and the this and the that.
I'm
what
getting
the
a
fuck
little.
are you doing?
My arms are a little tight back here.
I was thinking in the back of my head, like, what am I missing?
What
Like, what
you know about Derek Carr with the Brady and the Bucks and the football and the this
I was
and the
pulling
that?
my notes up.
Before we dive into the whole Dana White thing, if you would have opened with the Dana White stuff, I would have known what you were talking about. But with Derek Carr, I just wanted to notice something interesting that I saw this week. There was like a sit-down interview with Justin Herbert, and one of the questions they asked him is like, oh, well, with the level of competition, and the great quarterbacks in your division, you got to step up and blah, 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 blah. And it was funny because he made it clear. He's like, we got a lot of good guys in our division. When you're playing Patrick Mahomes twice a year, when you're playing Russell Wilson twice a year, you got to step up and play your best against those guys. And he purposely left out Derek Carr. I just thought that was funny. That's what I thought you were referring to when you said the Derek Carr.
No, because
stuff.
so I wrote down Raiders, Derek Carr, Gruden, and I was going to lead off with that. So I'm sorry about that, but I was going to say, what do you guys think of the
sorry for
story
reading directly off my abbreviated notes as if you guys should have thought what
you
the
guys
fuck I was writing
should have
down at the
known.
time.
Yeah, you guys should have known exactly what I was talking about. So what do you guys think of the Dana White comments that he had everything set up for Brady and Gronk to come to Vegas? Do you think it's
what
true?
The fuck? What happened to no teams at all wanting Brady when he was a free agent?
Well, it seems like every team wanted him now.
Right. Every other week it seems it comes out that like, oh, he was really close to Tennessee and then that fell through and then San Francisco, blah, 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 blah. And it seems like a lot of
we
these
know
are...
he was close to Miami because they fucking tampered with him.
Well, yeah,
so
they
unless
got
I
fined.
have this mistaken, as far as Tom Brady goes, entertaining Miami and the other situations that reached out to him, he did that while he was retired, correct?
No,
he was still on the.
No, he was.
Well,
still,
I know he was on the Patriots with Miami the first time.
With my what?
Right.
Yeah, when he went down to the yacht and was meeting with the owner. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought the other shit happened while he was retired, but I don't know. As far as the Raiders thing goes, I just think it's really funny that John Gruden, of all people, was the one that kind of nixed it, and he went and made the personnel decisions that he did after that.
Well, I think the what he did with John Gruden, I think John Gruden is like everyone started questioning that he can't bring up a young quarterback, and I think he saw Derek Carr as that quarterback that was gonna kind of work it out for him, and I don't think that he wanted Tom Brady to come in to the Raiders. Win one Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls, or however many, and the legacy will be, well, John Gruden won his first Super Bowl with the Bucks because they had a great defense. It was Tony Dungy's team. And then Tom Brady's going to come in to the Raiders, and they're going to go, well, look, John Gruden won 2 Super Bowls or 1 Super Bowl because of Tom Brady. I think he has an ego. I think he is a good coach, but I think he has an ego, and he wanted to do it with his guys. So it's John Gruden's ego.
Right, and Gruden already had player control over the Raiders. That was like a huge incentive in his contract.
Has anybody asked this question? How the fuck was Dana White involved in brokering this deal? What role does he play in the NFL? What the fuck was Dana White doing negotiating this deal?
He's
what
in
does
Vegas.
that have to do with anything? So Steve Wynn. I was in Vegas at that time on vacation. I had nothing to do with the deal. This is horse shit.
No, because you got Davis. What the fuck's his first name? Mark Davis.
Mark Davis relies on Dana White to negotiate his deals?
They're probably up in the box watching the UFC game.
This is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, come on.
This is bullshit.
So is it
Dana
unheard
White was
of
probably
that,
like,
is
hey,
it
get Tom Brady.
Is it unheard of that when you're talking in contract negotiations that an NFL franchise or an executive could use a middleman to basically kind of maybe try to seal the deal a little bit more?
Completely unheard of.
Because
he's
the
one. So first of all, what Dana White's saying here is that he brokered the deal. He had it worked out for them to come to the team. He had it all done, and then that evil man John Gruden said, "I don't want Brady here." Give me a fucking break. This is the stupidest non-story I've ever heard.
Listen, Dana White and Tom Brady are boys, okay? Dana White was up in a box with Mark Davis.
Don't forget Gronk. Apparently, he was
but he was going to
deal.
follow Brady. So Dana White was like, "Yo, I can get my boy Brady to come here, give him this, this, and this, because he knows what Tom Brady wants." And Mark Davis was like, "Cool, do it." And then you know what?
Yeah, you know what Brady is? Easily influenced by his friends and really not a leader at all. He just follows. So if Dana White said, hey, this is the deal, and first of all, if he wanted to go to Vegas that much, why didn't he sign with Vegas? I mean, look, Mark Davis is not going to let John Gruden take over that much control of the team. If he had the opportunity to get Tom Brady to open up his brand new stadium in Las Vegas, do I want to make the biggest splash in sports history all at once, or do I just want a little blip on the radar? Give me a break. This is such a non-bullshit story. I don't believe you for a second, Dana White. Call into the show.
813-90 Bubba.
Listening.
813-90-BUBBA. We have Babyface. He's going to set you straight. But you know what? It should give confidence to Derek Carr that his former coach, who is now in hiding and suing the NFL, had more confidence in Derek Carr over Brady.
Yeah, the impression that I get... Sorry, Brian. I didn't mean to cut you off. The impression that I get the more stories like this come out, it's almost like the media just wants to do whatever they can to maybe discredit the Bucs and make it seem like that wasn't Brady's first choice. Like, we just were fucking sloppy seconds. You know, he really wanted to be in Miami.
That's not the angle
really
here.
wanted to be
That's
there.
not the angle.
It isn't?
The angle is this.
I don't know,
the
man.
Angle
When
is
you,
this.
I mean, when you hear from guys like fucking Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk, he'll take any chance he can
Here it is.
to diminish Tampa Bay.
Pro Football Talk. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that Davis tried this, and he already did it once with head coach Jack Del Rio, secretly getting John Gruden. And no one knows what the Raiders would have been done, but it's safe to say the Buccaneers would not have made the Super Bowl without Tom Brady.
But who's going to argue that? Do you think we would have made the Super Bowl in 2020 without Tom Brady?
Well, it depends on the quarterback we have.
No, it fucking doesn't. We weren't going to make it with any other quarterback. There's 6 quarterbacks in the league in any given season that can win the Super Bowl. That's it. That's it. And if you didn't have one of those 6, maybe 8 guys. Okay, I'll open it. There's up to 8 guys that you can win a Super Bowl with in today's NFL. In any given time. Out of the 32 teams, 24 are pretty much eliminated before the season even starts.
Well, Mark Davis's answer when they asked him the question was that 2 to 3 years ago or something? I don't know, man. Talk to Dana. I remember that Tom Brady went to Tampa. That's basically what I remember. I have no idea. So.
Yeah. I think this was it. Dana White was drunk talking to Tom Brady one night, and they came up with it. Dana pitched it out there, and Tom said, hey, if you can get him to go for it, man. See what you can do. And then Dana didn't really do much with it and follow up other than to not follow up and then blame it on John Gruden for the deal not going through. This was a drunk story. This is a fisherman's tale about the time the giant bass in the lake got away.
But you do believe the Miami story, though.
I know the Miami story happened because Flores said it, and Flores is not a liar. So everything that Flores said was 100% true.
That is true.
Everything he said. And not one thing has been contradicted. In fact, the NFL didn't deny that the owner of the Miami Dolphins offered $100,000 per loss. They simply said that it's questionable whether or not he was serious.
813. 508.
Hey, Lummy, what's going on, buddy?
How's it going? You going to dispute Brian's talk on this, hopefully?
Oh, man, I'm calling in to give Brian props. Before today, I had no respect for the guy. Brian, where'd these balls come from? It's amazing.
They dropped last night. I looked down this morning, and they were there.
Oh, it's fucking awesome, buddy. Keep it up.
Thanks, man.
Great show, boys.
Thanks, man. I'm going to say he's not a Dana White fan or a Tom Brady fan from being from Boston.
No, he just knows what bullshit all these stories are, and it's easy to fucking call them out. They're bullshit stories.
There is definitely an aura of bullshit behind a lot of it. I will say the Miami one getting as much traction as it did with the investigation coming out, it pisses me off, but like I remember hearing about it during the season last year before the investigation findings had come out. And I wanted to feel the same way, but now it's just like, who the fuck knows?
It wasn't the ownership story, though. It was the one before that. It was tampering while he was still on the Patriots.
Yeah, that's fair. Trying to get him down there.
Yeah, that was from 2000. That was tampering from 2019 into 2020, not the 21 tampering that Miami. But whatever. Look, the Miami Dolphins owner is a piece of work, and I believe everything Brian Flores has said until somebody proves him wrong.
Well, speaking of the Miami Dolphins, Lummy, I wanted to get your take. I don't think the Bucs need any more tight ends, but Mike Gesicki is apparently on the market because he can't block for shit.
No, he cannot block for shit.
But I do like him a lot, and I feel like he's a pretty okay pass catcher among tight ends in the NFL. Do you think the Bucs maybe need to take a look at him, or with Kyle Rudolph being here, it's just not really a possibility?
We can't afford him.
First of all, Mike Gesicki is in Lummy's top 5 tight ends in the league.
That is true. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, we did. And so you can't. I'm not going to let you just back off your Mike Gesicki takes here.
Hold on, I didn't. I just said I don't think that he would work in Tampa, one, because of his salary. I mean, look, if the Bucks had a higher salary cap, I'd say, yeah, let's go get him all day long. But with his, I think he's making like what, 8 million? No,
well,
he's
with
making
these guys,
10. He's making 10 million.
Time out with these guys. How does it work
that.
in the NFL with these guys going on the IL? Don't they?
The offense lineman.
Yeah, don't they get that money back for salary cap purposes?
I think they do. I think they can.
So
realistically, could the Bucks leverage with something if they wanted to? Like, let's say hypothetically they send him Scotty Miller and a 6th-round pick.
Scotty Miller and what's his name with the Stanford
Gabbert?
Cameron Brate.
No, I'm not trading away Cameron
Brate's a better blocker, and he's got good chemistry with Brady already. No way.
Yeah, I'm not giving away Cameron Brate for Mike Gesicki. I know the upside is there because of the age discrepancy, but if I'm already dealing a piece,
so is Durham
why
Smythe?
Would it not be
is Durham Smythe that good that Miami's willing to roll him out?
He's just a better blocker.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean,
apparently that's a big deal for what's his name, Mike? Their head coach, Mike. I can't remember his last name. Fuck.
They put a franchise tag on him too for $10.93 million. He's 26.
You can't franchise
Mike
tag
McDaniels,
a player and then trade him. I mean, that's just stupid.
Well, that's the Dolphins for you.
I know.
I mean, who's in the need for? Well, I mean, I guess there's a lot of teams in the need for a tight end. But I mean, what would you give up for him? First, starting with GM Brett.
Yeah, like I said, a 6th-round pick and Scotty Miller, who's really not even a lock to make the team at this point. I don't think there's a lot of pieces that the Bucks could deem as disposable that teams would find a lot of value in. But, I mean, with Miami loading up on speedy receivers the way that they have, some more depth couldn't hurt, and Scotty Miller could, make a one play a year down there. But
what about you, Brian?
I wouldn't give up much more than that.
I'd give him a receiver and a 3rd-round pick with Miami retaining half of his salary.
That's fair. You gotta up pay on the pick that you give up for them to eat some of
so that you
cash.
can afford to get him in. I don't know what our cap situation is, quite honestly.
Yeah.
They're like 2 or 3 mil right now.
Yeah, so whatever it would take for them to keep, but the Bucks don't need to worry about it because they're just going to bring Gronk in week 9 anyways, so it's irrelevant. Well, if they're doing well, if that Gronk's just waiting to see if Brady's healthy and the Bucks are doing well, and Brady calls him up and says, "Yeah, you're going to be a difference maker. Let's go win another Super Bowl together." Then Gronk's going to roll on in.
Well, what's the tight end for San Francisco?
You're talking about Kittle?
Yeah, Greg Kittle. Now, is he a good blocker?
He's a great all-around player, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say, because obviously the head coach of the Dolphins was the offense coordinator, so I was wondering maybe if his plays didn't work in a tight end or he needed a lot of blocking. So
no, he needs a lot of blocking.
Well, it looks like the Dolphins earlier in the year tried to trade one of their tight ends to Texans, but I guess that got knocked down. So now I guess they're just going to try to trade Gesicki, which I think this is a Dolphins fan. 813?
Hey, what's up, man? So about this whole Gesicki situation.
Oh, big surprise.
That's my boy, man. First jersey that I got. But let me tell you, here's the deal, dude. He can't block for shit.
Is this Hot Carl?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So all right. So here, this is what the deal is. Last year he looks good because of the simple fact that all we had was Jalen Waddle and Parker, and we traded off Parker. Parker is a piece of work himself.
He's gonna have a great year. He's gonna have a great year in New England. He's gonna beat you guys. He's gonna catch a game-winning touchdown against Miami in Miami and spike it right in your face.
Hey, we did a. How did you like that doink at the Bucks game, dude?
Anyway, preseason? We're talking about preseason?
I told you they would win though, but we got our payback because the Raiders, or we did the same thing against the Raiders last week.
Yeah, don't even worry. Don't even worry about the 45-17 loss that we had in the regular season against you. We got you in the preseason.
Yep. No. Well, we had Jacoby Brisket, so I call him Brisket. But anyways, dude, Darren Smythe is awesome. He can block, and he also catches a good ball. That Adam Shaheen guy, we're letting him go. But also Hunter Long, he can block, and he was supposed to be a star, but we haven't implemented him that much. He did get a couple plays in on this game against the Raiders. And he's looking pretty good, but the problem with Gesicki is they utilized him more as a receiver last year. And I've been watching a lot of like training videos and stuff. He can't block for shit, man. So
So you want to
So
trade
wait,
him?
time out. Why don't you have a receiving tight end and a blocking tight end or an all-around tight end? And why do you need to get rid of him? It doesn't make a lot of sense at this stage in the season.
That's all talk, bro. They're not. I don't think they're gonna get rid of Jasicki, bro.
But he's on
until they do.
Yeah,
until he's gone.
on the trading block. You know, I think after what do you want to call us? Week 3, I guess, of the preseason. I mean, he could be gone.
I think this is just another case of we're kind of in the slow part of NFL, gearing up for the season. Let's grasp at straws for stories because we're running out of things to talk about, and nobody gives a fuck about preseason NFL football. So let's create some storylines here because it's hard to go, week in, week out, just talk about, well, this team's practicing well right now, and
Well, all right, Babyface. I got a question for you then, man, because you guys have a little bit more knowledge on this shit. Is this normal for someone to throw a franchise tag, and how important is a franchise tag on someone, and then have talks about trading?
The franchise tag is very important.
Does that happen all the time?
The franchise tag is one of the most valuable tools that ownership has in order to retain talent.
Exactly.
It's not believable. It's not believable. That's my whole point. I don't believe this story. I don't believe this rumor. I don't believe he's on the block. I don't believe any of that.
How often do you throw a franchise tag on a tight end as well? Honestly.
Well, you'll do it if you have nobody else you need to lock up. Like you'll do it on an O lineman or a D lineman too. If there's nobody else that like no skill position player that you need to lock in.
Hold on, I went on Dolphins news home. Breaking news: Dolphins make roster move today.
Yeah.
Dolphins announced that they have
waived punter Sterling Hoffrichter,
Armwood legend Sterling
linebacker DeAndre Johnson, and safety Sheldrick Redwine. Oh, do they still have white wine though? Or his brother Clinton Rose?
And they placed cornerback.
Is that
McKenzie?
Yeah,
and John Levitt.
That's the guy from the Vikings.
That McKenzie,
and then he got hurt.
That McKenzie guy fucking sucks. Does he not?
They got John Levitt on the team.
John Lovett?
Yeah, John Lovett. They got John Lovett.
It's Lovitz, the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Saints, though, so we're straight on the punter. I think the other punter that they got was just for a kind of like a backup, but I think he's like one of the oldest guys in the NFL. He played for the Saints for many years.
So let me ask you, do you want Gesicki or do you want your other tight end that you guys have?
I think Darren Smythe is extremely talented. I want to see Hunter Long do some more work, and Gesicki is my guy. He's my favorite player on the team. I fucking love him. I have his jersey and a Waddle jersey. Those are my guys. So, and I'd love to see him try to learn Mike McDaniel's offense, which is more of a screen pass on the outside, which he needs to step up his blocking game.
All right, we'll see.
Well, so what do you do with the jersey if he gets traded?
Burn it.
I cry about it. That's why I didn't buy a freaking Tua jersey or a Tyreek Hill jersey yet. Because, I mean, I've been a Dolphins fan forever, but like I just didn't know if Tua was going to make it.
So pro tip here: don't buy any jerseys. That saves you the trouble of crying about losing Gesicki.
You would hate me. I wear jerseys to Buffalo Wild Wings, dude, on football Sundays, bro.
Yeah, the waitresses dig it, huh? They hit on you. They're like, "Hey, nice jersey. Did you play?"
The waitress had season tickets to the Bucks game and gave me 2 tickets to go to that game that Lummy was at.
That's how much she wanted you out of her section.
She said, sorry, like, me and my rich-ass boyfriend.
Take these tickets and get the fuck out of my table. You're sitting here talking to me. Go to a game.
All right, guys. Yo, hey, man, great show today, man. Thanks.
Oh, hold on.
All good.
Brian, I'm looking at this Durham Smith guy, right? Durham Smythe? Is that his name?
Smythe.
I thought he would be different, but Notre Dame.
What do you mean you thought he'd be different?
Put the name, okay? Listen.
What does that mean?
Is that what you meant?
Taller?
I feel like I know what you meant, and you don't want to.
Do you think he'd be taller?
I thought he'd be a little taller, like 6'8". But so Notre Dame. When's the last time Notre Dame had a good college? I mean, I don't know, man.
A good college
Shut up,
what?
No, college tight end.
A
good tight end. Like, when's the last time Notre Dame
Who was
like
Jeff Samardzija?
No, tight end.
Oh, I don't know.
Because
wasn't Samardzija tight end?
No, he was a wide receiver. He played baseball for the Cubs.
But I thought he was. I thought he was kind of a tight end / wide receiver.
No, Brian, it's not. It's Jeff Samard.
I have no idea how to spell that name.
I think I get it. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Damn it.
Yeah, he played for Notre Dame, but
But he wasn't a tight end, though. I mean, Notre Dame's not really known for
Kyle
their...
Rudolph went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, there you go.
Did
Tyler Eifert also went to Notre Dame?
They've got nothing, but they're fucking tight end U, dude.
Oh,
Get the hell out of here with your weak ass takes.
I want to say tight end U would be University of Miami.
That used to be, but then they started catching murder charges and stuff.
What are you talking about? They're so good. Notre Dame
Name
tight
the last
ends.
great tight end to come out of Miami.
Kyle Pitts may have went 4th overall in the 21 NFL draft to the Atlanta Falcons, but make no mistake about it, when you're discussing tight end
what?
you were talking about Notre Dame.
What? No.
Seriously?
The Fighting Irish have had a long history of success at the position and put a ton of early round talent into the pros during the Brian Kelly era. Having one of the first tight ends selected almost annually has become the norm for Notre Dame.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're good in the NFL. No, but that doesn't mean they're good in the NFL.
Great take, Lummy. Great take.
No, it is.
Okay, so some of the recent...
Yeah, let's hear it.
Some of the recent ones, I would say 2020 is Cole Kmet. He's been okay.
He's great.
2021, Tommy Tremble. 2019, Elise Mack. 2018, Durham Smythe. 2015, Ben Koyak, Jacksonville legend.
Can I get some guys that are actually...
2014, Troy Nicholas.
You skipped Eifert.
2013, Tyler Eifert.
Wow, he's that old?
2011, Kyle Rudolph.
I mean, dude, that's like 5 quality NFL, like guys that you would take as your backup on fantasy.
Hold on here.
Whoa.
Look, I even got this. Miami's only
That's in
tight
the
end.
last
That's
decade, dude. That's like the last 9 years.
He just went to 2010.
Yeah, I said in the last decade. They're tight end you, dude.
Most drafted tight end since 2012 by Miami.
Okay, and I asked you in the last
how many of them were from 2010 to
years,
2022?
I'm up here running the board. I'm trying to
I don't have time
right
to justify my made-up bullshit.
You're
That's
the only
not
one with
bullshit.
a working computer up there. You
Ryan's
have the ability
works.
to Google this right now.
You can too, Mr. Phone.
He's moderating chat right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to call out bits. And
Are you?
Yeah.
T-shirt will 100 bits.
Sicilian Redneck, $100 on the Cash App. Thank you.
Wait, what? How much?
$100 just came through on my Cash App.
You giving your Cash App out now?
I'm giving mine out.
Miami.
Miami. Miami. Miami.
And I'm going to tell you something right now. I bet they're way better.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
ones
good
in the last
song.
12 years? The ones in the last 12 years.
Yeah,
Miami.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Yep, that's one.
Was he in the last 12 years that he went to Miami?
Yeah.
What took you so long?
What year did he graduate
I don't know,
from
I'm not there
Miami?
yet. Okay, you got David. You got David Joku.
Miami.
David Njoku.
David Joku.
Njoku.
Yeah, whatever. But there's one. Okay.
So Greg Olson was 2007, buddy.
Okay, Chris Herdem.
Oh well, Chris Herdem. Yeah, that's amazing.
What do you mean?
He's okay.
Yeah, I see. Thank you.
Okay.
You said a couple okays over there.
Uh-huh.
Brevin Jordan.
Oh, who could forget the legend of Brevin Jordan?
Really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Thank you, Lummy. You really want to die on this hill? Notre Dame has produced more tight end talent than any other school in college football over the last decade. Come on, bro. Just give it up.
No. Because
shit.
tight ends versus University of Miami.
Man, this
This is gonna be the rest of the show.
Hall of Famer group lips. No, it's not gonna be the rest of the show. It's not gonna be the rest of the show. You know what? All right, I'll give it up to Mr. Ash Jeeves over there. Okay, I don't care,
Dude, I said tight end U before he even looked it up, and then he's like, "Yeah, Miami's tight end U the last decade."
So, do you think the Ravens are going to have a problem with their stud Gus Edwards out for
First
these
of
4
all,
games?
the Ravens will absolutely win the next preseason game because that's what they do.
They're like what, 22-0?
If the game
Yeah, they are.
doesn't matter, they're like Aaron Rodgers. If the game doesn't matter, they're gonna fucking win. But the second they start mattering, we're not so sure about that. Yeah, they've won 22 in a row. It's really the most unfathomable streak in sports history. Because you think about preseason football and the shit that happens in preseason football, like the doink off the crossbar, right? Like those things. How can you go 22 games in a row and avoid that fate?
Well, Hot Caro is really into preseason, but I mean, the Baltimore, they pull out the best kicker the whole time.
I have waitresses giving me free tickets to get me out of their section.
Listen, The Ravens, they're probably going to struggle.
Struggle with what? Their next preseason game? No, like hell they will. They're favored by 6.
Oh, are they?
Take it to the bank.
I might have to put some money down on the money line on that one. Now, do you since the Ravens are going to win?
They're playing Washington, and
and Young's out too.
The news that he's not going to be there for at least the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas is questionable. Eli Wolf, their other tight end, is on the injured reserve. Well, if you're looking for a team that needs to draft or trade for a tight end, the Washington Commanders might be your shoppers if you're trading off Mike Dosakis.
Yeah, Carson Wentz can really hit a tight end pretty good.
So I know that we don't talk about betting on this show, but
I know who can hit a tight end pretty good, Ashley.
Okay, 5-6-1.
Got him.
Hey, Babyface, let me say something. You know, I love you. You're like a counter programmer.
That's enough, man. You're good. We can take good taking your call. That's enough. Perfect. Let me on to the next call.
2 weeks ago, you said Deshaun Watson was going to get suspended 8 games max. You know, now it's 11.
No. Time out. I said time out. I said he deserves 8 games max. He needs to negotiate 8 games max. He ended up splitting the difference with the league on his 5-game suspension and a full season at 11 games. So the league
I believe you said 8 games. I believe you said he would be suspended.
I said he should be suspended 8 games max.
Sir, if you could send me an email, let me BTLS@gmail.com. I will get that cut up to you.
Yeah, get that cut.
If you can find me just a timestamp,
because what I was really going off about was how this needed to be put to rest quickly. And fortunately for the NFL, Deshaun Watson backed down and allowed it to be resolved quickly and easily.
Yeah, but listen, I'm gonna switch topics here, going back to the Ravens because I'm the Ravens guy. I mean,
well,
Lamar
not really.
Jackson,
You're the second Ravens guy.
I don't know what his future is because I don't know if he signed a deal yet. But he apparently was offered a deal, and then apparently Tampa. There's some interest in Tampa as him being the successor to Brady. So there's that sort of thing that pops up.
What, that Lamar Jackson's going to come to Tampa Bay when Brady's done?
There was speculation on that.
He's Miami bound, man.
He's going to Miami.
If Tua flounders this year, Lamar Jackson's going to Miami.
No, listen, you guys are all wrong. Dana White's already cut a deal.
Dana White's got him. They're going to trade him.
Yes, he's already cut a deal with Dana White, and he's going to get him to Vegas again. Derek Carr. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. Dana White is now the new guy to cut all deals for the NFL.
Well, I know. I just there were some things that Buckswire at USA Today said, had mentioned that in their article, which is the only reason why I mentioned it because it popped up in my little feed for the Ravens.
Oh. Well, you hold on, wait until you see what we talk about on this show start popping up places because I can throw shit against the wall that I have no idea about, like all these writers do.
Yeah.
And
you do every day.
Well, that's it, man. That's the whole point.
Let me also say
Did you hear this on the Cannon Fire podcast? Is that
okay? Hold on,
there?
relax, fucking relax. So, as somebody who spends an extended period of time reading a lot of different Bucks media that comes out, Buckswire is trash, man. Like that USA Today affiliate doesn't really mean anything. The writers that they have just don't watch the team or cover the team like that. So anything that you see over there between Buckswire and the pewter plank, 9 times out of 10 is just going to be clickbait fucking garbage for the sake of website traffic. If you're looking for legitimate Bucks news, which I know you're a Ravens fan, so you're not. But if you are, like, I would just stick to Pewter Report at the end of the day. Like, there's not much else out there that's really going to be in tune with what the organization is planning on doing. And so any mention of Lamar Jackson after Tom Brady leaves is it's nonsensical and it's a bunch of theory made up bullshit.
Not just that,
now.
The Bucks are going to have a really hard time spending $50 million a year on a quarterback with
they're
their
not
current cap
the
situation. They've kicked the can down the road on Tom Brady to keep this band together. And then I just looked, so we were talking about the Gesicki and could the Bucks. They've got $6.8 million now, almost $7 million in cap space, but that's it.
Well, that brings in another point. Is like after Tom Brady, goes away, which is probably going to be, next year. Where do the Bucks go? And then how does that, are the Bucks going to suck like they did in the 80s?
No, they're not going to suck like
suck
the 80s
that bad because they've got
talent.
up and down the roster.
They're going to suck like they did in the 2010s, where like they could be a team that wins 8-9 games. They could be a team that wins only 4 or 5.
I think the floor on them with a replacement level quarterback in this league, a Teddy Bridgewater type, would be 7 or 8 wins.
Teddy Bridgewater
with this roster.
But that's not going to get you in the playoffs.
No, it's terrible. It's the worst place to be in the NFL. I've said that repeatedly. Being a mediocre team is absolute the worst. I would rather be the Lions year in, year out and at least have hope in the draft than to be 7-10 and praying that I find a quarterback.
Little Wolvers Afterbirds, $20 cash.
Well, real quick and on the call, but you brought up the Lions. So let me ask you a question. Lions, the teams that Panthers, another one, but you take a look at teams like the Lions, who have pretty much had the pick of first-round draft picks and screwed it up each and every year. I mean, they're pretty much in last place every year. So you can't say that first-round draft picks make all the difference because the decision-making at the top of the scale with GMs and ownership that screw it up.
No, but it gives you you have a better chance of becoming a winner faster and finding a franchise quarterback if you're drafting in the top 5 every year than if you're picking around number 16.
But how many times do you have to have it? I mean, I think the Detroit Lions had it. I mean, I don't know what the stat is.
Well, no, they're clearly poorly managed. They've had coaching turnover.
They're similar to the Browns. Put it that way.
But look, Stafford wasn't the problem there.
Hey man,
obviously.
don't you lump Motor City Dan Campbell into that conversation?
Oh man.
All right, man. Thank you.
I'll let you guys go. I got to go back to work.
I'm telling you this right now: the Detroit Lions are gonna turn some heads this season.
They're gonna bite some fucking kneecaps this year, man.
They're gonna be 500.
Yeah, man.
And they could. Well, they won't be 500. I can guarantee you that, unless they tie a game.
Yeah, they're going to tie.
It's impossible to be a 500 team anymore.
They're going to sweep the Bears.
We're going to fight you until you got no fight left.
They're going to tie the Packers.
They've got some great young talent on this team. Jared Goff is not a bum.
Yeah, man.
He can play. I think DJ Chark is going to want to prove some stuff. They've got some quality guys.
Yeah, they do. Good defense.
They've got some quality guys. Yeah, well, Aiden Hutchinson hopefully will be a difference maker for them.
I want to ask you real quick about the fantasy. I want to ask you real quick about the fantasy.
Okay.
Because we had the fantasy call. We got to give it all out to the fantasy. Maybe our phone lines are just blown up at this point. But, Brian, Rhett, top quarterback that you would say right now.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
It's not even close. It's not close. I'm not taking another one for another 2 rounds.
Top running back.
Jonathan Taylor, and it's not even close.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm not taking another one from 2 rounds. No, I'm just joking.
Top wide receiver.
Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson, I like Jefferson because of the age factor. Kupp is hitting that 30-year mark, and that's when guys with bad wheels, blew out an ACL once. It may be a little sooner, but he would be bucking the trend to continue to be producing at the level that he is. So give me Jefferson.
He'd be hard-pressed to think he's going to go out there and put up fucking 1,900-something yards again this year.
You going to clear these phone lines real quick? Make it quick. 4-4. What are you?
Have a take. Have a take. Don't be mediocre.
Hey.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, God. We ask for quick, and then we get this? We get literally the antithesis of quick?
Hey, Lummy. What's up? Got more tight ends in the last 12 years than Miami does.
All right, my dear. It's laughing so hard. I'm sorry. What you said is like quick.
It's the antithesis of quick.
I said that I always got more tight ends in the last 12 years than Miami in the NFL.
Yeah, so okay, Brian. Brandon, call earlier next week.
Okay.
All right, man. All right. There we go.
We need at least 10 minutes before we hit that call.
Sorry, Brandon.
Hey, make it quick.
Oh, my bad, Brandon. All right. Well, 1:30 week. It came too quick, Brandon. I'm sorry. Call back next week. We got you.
Oh,
I think.
Shit.
I don't know anymore.
I was just, before we wrap this up, I wanted to get your opinion on the Lions led a player-only practice this week. So, Dan Campbell was the only person out there, and he said that the players can figure it out. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Yeah?
Let the players take over.
I'd love for it to be a total shit show, and we get to watch it on Hard Knocks next week.
We'll see what it turns into, but what you get, it's really smart on a coaching staff's part, especially when you're looking for who's going to be your leaders on that team, which is who's leading that, who's getting you organized. Can they get themselves organized? Because you do one of two things: either you establish who those leaders are, and the players know it now, or you don't have leaders, and you gain the trust of your players because now they know that the coaches are needed to make this team run well.
Hey man,
Exactly.
Hey man, you fuckers are so smart. Go out there and do it yourself.
Yeah, and he'll just watch it.
Wait, Lummy.
What's up, Brian? That's what I used to do at Notre Dame, Brian. You know?
Yeah.
That's what the results again.
What a fun show.
My only thing I got. I don't know any of the coaches' voices. Brian, thank you so much for coming in. And Brian's on tomorrow with Regina at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Tune in tomorrow on all our platforms at 6 a.m. Rhett, DaFilthy, thank you. And for all your Bubba Army merch, for the flags, the cups, the shirts, Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Store, BubbaArmyMerch.com. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back next Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day.